And I'm happy with this, right? Because I still have some breathing room at the top and the bottom for all of my images. And I like that there's a little more space to the left and the right. The overall composition just feels less crowded. So this is beautiful. I'm happy with this. I do not want to make any more changes to my coffee joiner. So at this point, I'm going to go to File, Save, okay, and that's going to save all of my changes here in my Photoshop document. However, to turn this in, I need to put this in my digital portfolio. However, Google Drive and Google Slides in particular can't read a Photoshop document. Okay, so remember when we went up here to File, Save as we have been saving our changes to this document, we've been saving it as a Photoshop document, okay? That file type is what we call a proprietary file format. And that's a fancy word that just means, hey, a Photoshop document only works in the program Photoshop, right? This type of document saves all of our layers information, all of the tools and different actions and techniques we've been using. That's why we save a Photoshop document, because you can always go back, open that Photoshop file up again, and continue to work and continue to make changes. However, Photoshop documents are pretty large files. And that's one reason that Google Slides is like, hey, that's too much information for me to be able to put on a slideshow. So we need to help Google Slides out here. We need to save a copy of our file in a file type that Google Slides can actually read and can actually work with. So now that we're ready to do that, you're going to navigate here to the bottom where it says File Type. And instead of Photoshop, we're going to switch it to JPEG. Now, please take your time and pay attention to what you're selecting. You'll notice that there's quite a few different file types we can choose from, and there's even 3 different types of JPEG files, okay? There's JPEG 2000 and there's JPEG Stereo. We don't want those, okay? Look at where my cursor is, look at what I have highlighted. We specifically want to save our copy as a JPEG, okay? Regular, plain old JPEG, right? And you can see how that little, not handle, what's the word? Not extension. I'm forgetting my vocabulary, but you'll see here at the end of our file, oops, trying just to highlight the end. There we go. It now says .jpeg, JPG, okay? So if this is looking good, just double check that you are saving it in your Photo 1 folder to keep everything organized. We can go ahead and click Save. Now for me, I already have a file with this name. That's why it's asking me if I want to replace it. For me, I'm going to go ahead and say yes because it's the exact same file. You shouldn't see that error, not error, but that message pop up. Once you click Save, this is going to pop up. Okay, and it's called JPEG options. And basically, we just want to make sure that we're saving our JPEG copy at the highest quality possible. So I always make sure it's cranked up to 12. Then I'm going to click OK. And we're done. We have now saved a copy as a JPEG. To double check, right, you can navigate down here to your File Explorer. Go to your Pictures folder, open up your Photo 1 folder, and if we take a look, we were working on period 4, so here, okay? I still have my original Photoshop document, okay? But now I also have a copy that has been saved as a JPEG. So, those are the toughest steps. Now we got to make sure we go all the way to the finish line. We have that copy saved as a JPEG, but how do we actually get it into our digital portfolio? Well, let's sort of switch gears here and take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize Photoshop, and instead, let me make my other tabs nice and big. And the first thing I want to do is actually navigate to my Google Drive, okay? And I'm going to make sure that I am here in my Photo 1 folder. So if we look at my whole Google Drive, right, I have lots of different folders. All of my Photo 1 stuff, I'm going to put in my Photo 1 folder. Okay, so we're going to use the same good organizational habits that we've already established in our, or excuse me, on our desktop Same thing here in Google Drive. Okay, on my desktop, I have a folder called Photo 1 where I keep all of my Photo 1 files. Here in my Google Drive, I'm going to have a folder called Photo 1 where I keep all of my photo files. If you still need to make Photo 1 folder here in Google Drive, you can do that by going to New and then clicking on Folder, and you can type in the name. But let me go ahead and open up Photo 1, and this is where I'm going to upload that JPEG copy that I just saved. So I'm going to go to New, File Upload, and I want to grab my JPEG copy right here, and I'm going to click Open. Now, in my situation, right, I'm getting this message that says, hey, there's a duplicate file upload because I already demonstrated this once this morning. That's fine. That's not a problem for me. You all probably will not run into that problem, okay? Now, let me show you how to get this into your digital portfolio, and then we'll take a pause so I can answer questions and concerns, okay? So to get to my digital portfolio, I'm going to do the same thing you guys need to do. I'm going to go here into Google Classroom, click on Digital Portfolio. Okay, you will open up your copy. I'm going to open up my copy here. And at this point, if we take a look at our digital portfolio, all of our sort of pre-labeled slides have ended. You'll see that there isn't a slide sitting there waiting for you called Photo Joiner 1. We're going to have to, from now until the end of the year, continue to make new slides to continue building our portfolio. But I'm going to show you a trick because if I can find a way to save time when I'm doing something, that is the method I'd like to use. So you could, right, get here to the end of your portfolio. You could go to Slide, New Slide. You could make a brand new slide, change the layout, right? We're about to upload our Photo Joiner 1. You could do it that way. However, when you're making a portfolio, whether that's a physical portfolio you're printing out, or it's a digital portfolio like ours where we're continually updating it, you want the formatting to be clean and consistent. Okay, so if we take a look at what our slides look like right now, they all have a white background. There's a font here that is very legible, right? It's not the chiller font or a really complicated script. Everything is clean and consistent. So instead of me having to sit here and make a brand new slide, I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to make a copy of one of my old slides so I don't have to go back and change the color and the font and all of that stuff for a second time. So over here on the left-hand side, if I click on the cyanotype book slide, I can right-click with my mouse, duplicate slide. Do you see what happened? Over here on the left, now I have two copies of the same slide. So on this new one, I can just click up here, change the title to Photo Joiner 1, and now I'm ready to go. So two ways that we can add our photo. Insert, image. I can grab it from my Google Drive, right, because I just uploaded it there. And it's going to be this one right here. So I'm going to click on that and go Insert. Okay. Then I always like to make it nice and big. Get that centered. And you know what? I could go up here. This label doesn't need to be quite this big. Let me take it down to like 36. That's still pretty big. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. Then I can make my photo joiner just a little bit bigger. Make sure it's centered, and we're good to go. So that's option one, okay? I went to Insert, Image, right, Upload from Google Drive. However, you can also insert it directly from your laptop. So you can go to Insert Image, Upload from Computer. Then it's going to open up that File Explorer. I can look here in my Photo 1 folder on my desktop, and I can grab my JPEG file from there. Same process, going to make it nice and big, and make sure it's centered on my slide so my digital portfolio looks nice and clean and organized. Now you may be sitting here wondering, well, Ms. Martin, if we can upload it directly from our laptop, why did we take the time to go to our Google Drive and upload a copy there? This is why. Especially, you know, when we're in person, we're often moving between different computers. So sometimes in the physical classroom, students might work on their laptop one day, they might be working on a school desktop another day. I even have students who may switch between their school laptop and then also a personal laptop. And the reason that that can create some problems is if you only have a copy of your files saved here on your physical computer, like right now, all of these files are saved only here on my physical laptop. So if I went to school and I logged into one of the desktops, I wouldn't have access to any of this stuff because it wouldn't be on that computer. However, if I get into the habit of taking that little bit of extra time to upload those files here to my Google Drive, that means any computer I use that has internet access, I can always log into my Google Drive and have access to my work. So I know it's another like 30 to 60 seconds of time to go to file upload and get your stuff put here in your Google Drive, but it's worth it to make sure that you always have an extra copy and a copy that you can access from multiple different computers. Okay? But with that, that covers canvas size, how to save a copy as a JPEG, how to upload it, and how to get that turned into your digital portfolio. So at this time, that's sort of the end of our new content for today.